Hey, what's up, guys? So it's me, Sean, from Sean's-Thoughts.com. Um, I wanted to give myself a day to process and hear all the chatter that was going on after yesterday's events at the Capitol. Um, a great friend of mine's, my business partner actually, and I got into a very passionate conversation, not argument. We had a passionate conversation about what was going on in our reactions, and she made a very valid point that I 100% agree with, that I'm going to get to, and it's the same point I made. But one of the things that she talked about and we talked about was the actual reaction that happens around these events. So first of all, let me be clear, just in case somebody reads this, watches this from years from now, after I'm famous and somebody's trying to find dirt on me. They go, here's what he said back when. Here, I'm going to give you a chance. Yesterday, the President of the United States incited a treasonous act against our country. Now, you may disagree with me. You may be a supporter of the president and his tactics and his rant and his things. But here's a simple fact. The President of the United States committed an act of treason and had his followers go and storm the Capitol of the United States. Right? As a military member, as a person who served this country, even with racism and all this other things, I served this country for 22 years. That is exactly what he did. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. It was freaking treason. Even if you thought the election was rigged and it was stolen, it was bought and paid for. All our elections are bought and paid for. Man, that's where money happens. But what happened yesterday was treason and terrorist acts against our nation, acts of war against our own nation by citizens of the nation, flying the Confederate flag in the nation's capital. So if you have any questions about whether or not what that means, this has nothing to do with black or white or anything. If it was Black Lives Matter that did it, if it was Native Americans that did it, it would be an act of war. It would be treason. They tried to overthrow the government. Period. Dot in the story. So now that we got that out of the way, one of the things that happens, and the reason we don't really get ahead, is because people like President Trump made their living off of making sure that we redirected the conversation. And this is no different. The world is watching us do what we're doing, and the very first thing that started coming out of people's mouths was, but what if they were black? So I'm going to talk about that for a moment. I'm going to address that elephant in the room, because as me and my business partner and my partner here talked about, it is both a necessary and an unnecessary thing. And I'm going to talk about, just so we understand, in this country, especially over the last year, we have literally argued that peaceful protests by African Americans and minorities were wrong. No matter what it was wrong. That it was riots and the whole shebang, wrong. People brought up Black Lives Matter every chance they got, when it was to counter one of these rallies and one of these President Trump protests, right? So it shouldn't be a shock that when you see 99% white males, men and women, dressed in camouflage, and they're flying Confederate flags, they're flying Trump flags, and they're doing these things, and they storm the Capitol of the United States, and nothing happens to them. Of course, the flood of what if they were black, what if they were minorities, what if they were, Muslim, right? Nobody said that, I've said that, but what if? It's easy. It's easy to do, because we can speculate exactly what would happen. We don't even have to, because we've seen how the government and the police reaction to protests for Black Lives Matter, protests across the world. We've seen how they reacted with aggression and violence, right? And sometimes rightfully so, because not all those protests were peaceful and not all those protests were right. But here's the thing. So all those who are saying, what if they were black? Please stop. We already know what would happen if they were black. The problem is this. I'm redirecting the conversation. That is a conversation we have to have, and that is something we need to show. But right now, what we need to talk about is what just happened in our state capital. And yes, there are always layers of things that have to come on, but we keep trying to fix everything at the same time. In the medical field, they talk about triage, right? In the military, when we go to a battlefield, we have battlefield casualties. We triage the situation. What that means is we take care of the severity as needed. We've been dealing with police brutality in the black community for years and years and years and years and years, and this is just another display of the disparity, the difference in how things are treated. So we're not going to fix that right now. But what we need to fix right now is that the President of the United States made a treasonous act against our country. What we need to do right now is call our congressmen and women to do their damn jobs, right? Which they did. They came back and did. What we need now is to start showing what is really going on, because we can't get ahead if we continue looking the other way. If we continue looking this way and that way. We have a chance in this nation to finally see all the nasty crap that we have done to ourselves. And by the way, it doesn't matter which race you are. We all have our racists. We all have our sexists. We all have our homophobic. We all have our millionaires. We all have our dirty cops. We all have every race, because this is America and it's a melting pot. It is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place that is finally showing the ugliness that has been under the soil that people didn't understand and see. Yesterday's event on the Capitol showed how easily we can be manipulated. Right now, on my Twitter page, on my Facebook page, people like me, black people, are sharing meme after 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 meme of what if they were black. Oh, they would get shot. And they may be right. We've seen it. That's not even an argument, right? We've seen it. But then I ask a question. Okay, so what do I do with that? And no one has an answer, because we're not trying to fix the problems. We're just trying to point out, oh yeah, but. And that's what happens every time we have one of these situations. We get to a situation that we can deal with and we need to deal with, and we have a point, and we turn it. When a school gets shot up, nobody gives a damn about the kids who get shot up. What do we care about? About gun rights? And look at these guns. And it turns into gun, anti-gun. It actually never turns into reform. Never turns into work, because we allow it to be turned. We allow the misdirection. This is what the president did, and this is how this happened. Since the election, all you keep hearing is the election was stolen. It was stolen. Educated people that I know regurgitate that nonsense. No facts, no nothing. The election was stolen. People, Biden is a racist. Maybe he is. Maybe he is the most racist person on the planet. But what he never did up to date is do a treasonous act against the country that which he rules. He is a ruler of this country, and he did a treasonous act. That's what we have created. And I'm not saying white people created it. We all created it. And we created it because we allow ourselves to be divided, and we allow ourselves to be distracted. We allow ourselves to turn around and go, oh, look at that. That's what this is about. And no soon as we start saying, what if they were black? I'm going to say, what if they were gay? Or what if they were Muslim? And all of a sudden, it just keeps getting divided till we're arguing amongst ourselves, and the people at the top, Donald Trump, sitting up there, not worried one damn bit. There were people in the offices of our senators. There is sensitive information in those offices. If you've ever been in the military or the government, you know that, right? And they are rifling through those things, and the police did nothing, or very little. Now, I'm not going to question the police how they act, because it is not about how they acted versus how they act when the Black Lives Matter. You've seen the pictures. I know you've seen the pictures. It's about how we act now. I don't have all the answers. But what I do know is when I turn around and I look and I have my friend who's sitting there, and she's impassioned and she's like frustrated. She's going, what do we do? Why are we not talking about how to fix this? Now people are talking about the 25th Amendment because this piece of crap that we call a president should be taken out of office. Not taken out, not killed, not executed. He should be taken out of office. The people that did not do their jobs when he was saying racist things and doing underhanded deals and all these things, we need to take care of that. We are seeing the underbelly of our country and we have a chance to fix it. We have a chance to be active in our participation because it isn't just a black thing. It isn't just a white thing. It isn't just a native thing. It isn't just any other, put it in there, thing. It is ours. And it's our nation's thing. There are men and women. A woman, 4 people died yesterday. For what? What they were trying to do couldn't even be done. The only thing that was going to happen is eventually the National Guard was going to come in and take them all out. That's what would eventually happen. Doesn't matter if you're white or black. Eventually, you're not going to overthrow the government. It's not going to happen. So I'm sitting here, and I'm going to end this. I think I'm 11 minutes on. I'm going to try to end this. I'm sitting here with this point. And this point, I hope I made a point. I don't know. I'm free talking right now because there's so much to go. There's so much to unpack. But here's the thing. Me talking about what if they were doesn't help me fix the thing. I want to say, what do we do now? And how do we avoid this again? How do we avoid allowing lies and misinformation to be shoveled into our world and watching intelligent people swallow it up like it's truth? We've gotten away from the truth of things that we need and transparency. You had senators walking by, mobs that were coming into the state capitol raising their fists like, yeah, in solidarity. You had senators who were banding together to overthrow the government. All those are acts of treason. We have laws in our state. We have laws in our world here that allow us to do the things we need to do if we don't have something. President Trump and his group were allowed to contest the results, and they did over and 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 over again. And court after court after court after court threw them out. Not Democratic court, not a Republican court. Our judicial system did its job. But yet here we are. What we need as a nation is, one, we need to show that the people who stormed, every single person who stormed the Capitol gets persecuted, prosecuted under the full extent of the law. They weren't American, they were terrorists. And we need to stop saying, oh, if it's a minority group, they're rioting. If it's a white group, they're protesting, and it got out of hand. It's not Antifa, it's not Black Lives Matter, it's not white supremacists, it's the group that showed up. And that particular group did something that we now as a nation have to finally deal with. I will never push down our American brothers and sisters and tell them they're not worthy of us. The people who did what they did yesterday, I want them to go to jail. I want them to be prosecuted. I want them to stand trial. I want them to have to answer for their crimes. I don't want them shot. I don't want them beat. I don't want them taken out and handcuffed and treated like dogs and savages. Which is the thing that we were kneeling about, by the way, just in case you were wondering. We have a chance to be better. And I don't know how we're all going to do it, but the first thing we need to do is we need to stop getting distracted. We need to stop saying, well, what about? And go, okay, let's deal with this right now. And then we deal with the next thing. And we can do multiple things at once, but right now, everybody's divided. Because we're worried about what about this next thing. Right now, we have an election that was taken care of, and we have a president who committed treason in this country, and he incited a run on the Capitol. What about? What about we deal with that? Our nation is great. Our nation is hidden a lot of secrets, and it's hidden a lot of pain. And it isn't just black pain. It isn't just white pain. It isn't just all of us suffer in some way, right? Because the American dream did not get built on the backs of honesty. It got built on the backs of lies and hate and killing and rape. And I mean, all the ugly stuff in the world, that's what we built our nation on. And it's starting to come up. So now we have a chance. We have a chance to end years of oppression. We have a chance to end years of hate in the background. We have a chance to start and say, let's build this together. We have a chance to get rid of all this racist monuments and things that we look up to and we've looked up to from all sides and go, let's build and talk about our history. Our history. And this is part of our history. Yes, Donald Trump has helped our history because he made it that we no longer can hide behind the lies. Watching the police react to those storming the Capitol, watching someone take down an American flag and put up a Donald Trump flag. They took down the American flag and put up a Donald Trump flag, the capital of our building, of our country. And people who were pissed about the kneeling have been quiet. So we get to talk about it now. I hope we have grace with each other. I hope that we are willing to talk and listen, because this is a lot of energy. And I hope we understand that we're a great nation. That piece of crap in office, yes, and I call him a piece of crap, is right. We're great. We're not great again. We were great to begin with because we are a melting pot. We're a melting pot of cultures and races and religions and faiths and followings. And together we come as a community. So now we have a chance. I'm not condemning you for what you are, but what I want the law to be the law and it to be imposed equally. And we have a chance to do that now. Joe Biden is not the savior of the world. No. Kamala Harris is not the savior of the world. No. Just changing the president is not going to change it. Getting Mitch McConnell out of his power position is not going to change it. We, the people, are going to change it when we, the people, start acting like we care about the people. The ball's in our court. This is 18 minutes. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure nobody listens to me anyway, or very few do. But I had to say my piece, and so that's where I'm at. This is Sean from Sean's-Thoughts.com. Let me live every tiny moment exceptionally. Like my shirt says, love. We need to love each other. It's going to get ugly. It's going to be hard. And we're going to swallow a lot of humble pie. But we can do that as a nation because we are a great nation of promises. And the promises to be kept are that we, the people, are the ones that keep it. Don't get distracted by the rhetoric on the outside. Focus on what we need. We need reform. We need to take care of our elder. We need health care, right? It's not about socialism or capitalism. It's about taking care of each other. That's me. That's it. That's 19 minutes. That's way enough. All right. Hope you guys listen. If you listen, thank you. For those who will give me negative comments, what else? We're better than this. Let's make America great. Let's be great Americans. All right. That's all I got. Take care of yourselves.